Hey everyone, this is Daniel Carvajal, and this is my YouTube channel, Daniel Carvajal Music. Today what we're going to be talking about is how I go about programming lights for when I'm playing with bands that use backing tracks and we have light programs going on. There's pretty much three pieces of software that I use. Ableton, which is commonly used for live applications, triggering tracks and loops and samples. We use that to trigger all of our tracks. And Danny, the drummer, who's behind the camera right now, hi Danny, he has basically a laptop set up next to him on his drums that has all of our tracks with our clicks and also our MIDI lighting, which I'll get into, programmed into Ableton. So he basically hits play and everything happens. So how that happens is through a couple of different ways. Basically, initially, when we're designing the backing track that we're using, we might have percussion, backing vocals, some instruments that we don't have with us. We take that into Logic. Right now, I'm in Logic, and what we're doing with this is we're arranging our backing tracks and getting it to a defined grid so that we have a metronome that's working with it and everything's at a specific tempo. We're also using Logic to actually program in the MIDI for cueing our light scenes that we're going to be developing. Now, to bring it back, what we're using to develop lighting is the Chauvet Show Express, which is pretty much just like a virtual DMX controller. What it has is pretty much you set up your parameters of the lights you have in it. Right now we have, I think, 9 parcans and then 2 strobes that are, 6 of those parcans are on our truss and 3 of them are on the ground. So I have them all programmed into Show Express, and the parcans each are 7 DMX channels for the different parameters that they can do. The strobes are 2, so that's laid out there and everything. Now, where it gets interesting for a live programming, because when we don't want to carry around like a light guy with us, we need to have everything automatically cued when we cue our tracks. Basically, how we do that is we set up the scenes in Show Express. So we'll have a scene that says chorus 1, the light show for chorus 1, the light scene for chorus 2, basic scenes like all white flashes, all blue flashes, and we assign those a MIDI note. So what that means is that any MIDI that comes in at that specific channel to Show Express will trigger that scene to happen. That way, when we're in Logic programming our lights, we can create a MIDI track, route the output of that MIDI track into the input of Show Express, and we can effectively program all of our lighting. As I'm just clicking the button right here, and as you can see behind you, as I click the button, basically it cues that light scene. So for each different button that I'm hitting, a different scene is being cued. So what that means basically is that when we're done programming all of our light scenes, we actually take that entire MIDI file and drop it back into Ableton. So it will sync up with the audio file that's being cued in Ableton. Effectively, what we do then is route the output of the MIDI file in Ableton back into Show Express. So much like we did with Logic, but in a live context, we're triggering those scenes, and in a perfect world, everything is great. It takes a little bit of finagling of just moving around the MIDI and making sure that everything's perfectly synchronized, but it's the easiest kind of way we figured out how to do this. Now, I don't know if this is something that you guys are interested in, really, so I just did a really quick kind of rundown of everything, but if you want me to go more in depth into actually how I developed each of these systems, definitely let me know in the comments, and I'll make some more subsequent videos about each program and how I'm using it, because I'm sure that if someone thinks it's useful, it would be really awesome for someone to do it out there on the internet, and that person would be me, so let me know. That's pretty much how we do that, and till next time, see you later.